Pro players are masters of repositioning. Unlike casual players who often stay in the same spot, pros constantly move around to avoid becoming predictable target. By keeping the enemy guessing, you can gain a significant advantage and outplay your opponents. In this clip, Elevate Candy demonstrates the importance of anticipation and adaptability. Candy spots a player from galleries and connects his shot. Behind Lucazin is his teammate Pabzera. Candy quickly realizes this and runs away from trouble, repositioning to confuse galleries. The quick decision to move throws off the enemy team, making it harder for them to track his location. With that element of surprise, Candy connects again, securing his second kill. That's the first thing that pro players do that you probably don't, all from the 2024 Call of Duty Mobile World Champs. You'll learn a lot by watching the best of the best, whether you're in a team or you're a solo player. One of the key habits pros that you might overlook is their ability to leverage the environment. Use your surroundings to your advantage. Avoid exposing yourself to the enemy unnecessarily, especially if you're not using an SMG or shotguns. Take advantage of head glitches and peekers advantages whenever possible. The less the enemy can sense your location, the better your chances of securing a kill. One of the key techniques is to utilize head glitches. By exposing only your head to enemies, you make it much harder for them to hit you while maintaining a clear line of sight. Be aware of your surroundings and find these advantageous positions to gain a crucial edge in certain situations. Another effective strategy is to wall peek to your advantage. Pro players have done this multiple times, especially in the Chinese region. It's safer than outright pushing the walls, as enemies will have a harder time shooting you if your character is constantly being blocked by an object. By constantly peeking around walls, you can see if an enemy is behind it or decides to come to that area. The next step is to always check every corner and angle before pushing inside an area. This fundamental principle of FPS games can mean the difference between life and death in matches. Don't just predict where the enemy will come from and start raging. Instead, take the time to ensure you have a clear understanding of your surroundings. Moving into an area without checking all possible hiding spots is a risky gamble that can easily backfire. As we saw with Godlike in this clip, enemies can be lurking in unexpected places. Trying to push into P4, they were immediately caught by Xrock Nono, hiding in a corner. Not only did they both die, but they also lost a valuable war machine that could have been used later. Watch how Q9 expertly pushes towards their objective. They meticulously check every angle and corner to ensure no enemies are lurking nearby. When they spot an Xrock player, they quickly eliminate them and secure the round win. This methodical approach demonstrates the importance of careful positioning and situational awareness in the game. Another thing pro players do is take space and create room for their teammates. Use your operator skills, score streaks, and utilities to push the enemy away from the hill. This gives your team plenty of time to better position themselves and secure control of the objective. Position yourself strategically between your opponents and teammates, creating a void that the enemy has to get through before they reach the hill. By effectively using your operator skills, you can clear out entire sections of the map, forcing the enemy to back off or reposition to a worse location, which gives your team the breathing room they need to lock down the hill. Dropping these weapons or utilities in key choke points or advancing enemies can slow down their push and buy your teammates more time to hold their ground. See how Elevate EOP utilizes the Sparrow to disrupt the enemy's push. By spamming it in areas where wolves might enter, he forces them to delay their advance and stay behind cover. Once the Sparrow runs out, EOP quickly takes control of the situation by aggressively pushing into the gap between the hill and the enemy, catching them off guard. This play gives Elevate a huge advantage and allows them to secure P3. Another example of this is Xrock Rushi shooting the war machine at the side where Q9 players are getting spawned in, as you can see on the map, to push them away from P2, giving Xrock almost all the points in P2. Up next is utilizing your utilities to gain an advantage. These tools can provide valuable benefits in various situations, from checking enemy locations to outplaying opponents. Knowing how to use them effectively can be a game changer. Smoke grenades, for example, can completely disrupt enemy vision. Watch how Xrock Ma throws a smoke grenade at the bomb site in this clip. This forces Q9 Sun into a difficult decision: rush through the smoke to check for a defuse, or keep searching for Ma. Ultimately, Sun rushes in and gets outplayed by Ma, who cleverly flanks around the smoke and secures the kill. Understanding your utilities' functions and knowing when to deploy them is crucial. Effective use of these tools can create significant advantage for you and your team. Remember that proper utility usage can change the course of a match, so make it a habit to integrate them into your gameplay. Tip number 6 is to change your pace from time to time. Don't always stick to one style of play. Be aggressive or passive depending on the situation. Pro players constantly switch between these styles, keeping their opponents guessing and creating opportunities to capitalize on. This unpredictability can give you and your team a significant advantage. Elevate's strategy in Tunisia was a masterclass in unpredictability. After rounds and rounds of passive play, they suddenly launched a coordinated push from 3 different lanes: winery, A-long, and mid-long. This aggressive move caught galleries off guard and put them in a severely disadvantageous position. Q9's strategy in this match was a textbook example of passive play. By locking down all possible entry points, they forced X-Rock to stay on the defensive. Q9 O-Ling's roaming presence behind the team provided additional security and ensured that X-Rock couldn't push through without facing immediate resistance. This setup effectively choked off X-Rock's options and prevented them from planting the bomb. In the end, it's not just about reacting to the game, but controlling it by making your opponent second guess themselves. So, whether you're going for an aggressive push or taking a step back to play more cautiously, the ability to switch gears at the right moment can be the deciding factor. For the 7th tip, timing is everything when it comes to using score streaks and operator skills. These powerful tools can be game changers, especially in clutch situations. Use them strategically to turn the tide of a match and give your team the edge you need to secure a victory. Control is a prime example of how important operator skills are. In this game mode, spawns and routes are more predictable, making it easier for players to anticipate enemy movement. A well-timed operator skill can create a significant advantage to help your team push forward or secure objectives. Don't underestimate the impact of operator skills in Hardpoint. Elevate's strategy of saving up 2 or 3 operator skills for P2 proved to be a game changer. By unleashing a barrage of these powerful abilities, they overwhelmed Q9 and secured a significant advantage, ultimately leading to a victory. Remember that timing is everything. If you save up your operator skills or score streaks for the right moments, you can potentially change the outcome of a round. So, observe the flow of the game, communicate with your teammates, and use them wisely. The next tip is thinking outside the box. Elevate is a perfect example of how it's not always best to follow the latest trends. While many teams prefer popular options like the Odin and MG42, Elevate's success lies in their unique approach. They specialize in close quarters combat and have customized their loadouts and strategies accordingly. This approach has proven to be highly effective for them. Their unique builds for weapons like the Type 99 Grau allow players like Plo and Susano to maintain an aggressive playstyle even when using assault rifles. These unconventional setups give them the flexibility to push forward confidently and still hold their own in close quarters combat. At number 9, take risks. Taking calculated risks is a key trait of great players. While it may seem risky, the potential rewards can far outweigh the risks. Flanking is a perfect example of a calculated risk. Although it can be dangerous, a well-executed flank can turn the tide of a battle. Watch how Elevate Candy managed to bring his team to a map point despite being outnumbered. At the start of the round, you can see Elevate going for a full B site push, except for one person. During their B rush, you can see the amount of utilities raining down on site and even a smoke lineup from Yopi at B ramps to block off vision from P1 and Tin, causing Mao Chi to ask for help. Wuling went ahead for backup but was quickly taken down by PJ. Q9 knew how quickly it became chaotic down in B site, which caused them to go for a fast B rotation, which was a mistake because Mao Chi actually did a great job holding down the site and even got 2 kills traded after Wuling. Because of the amount of space that Q9 gave up, they gave Kendi an opportunity to take down D Chen and Mao Chi from behind, making it a 3v2 situation, giving Elevate the space they need to pinch Q9 in sight, who were worried about Kendi from behind. Everything happened so fast that Q9 probably didn't see it coming. Let's take a look at another clip where this time it's Kalo who went for a flank, which, by the way, happened on the very next round. In this match point round, Elevate went for a 1-4 push and a 2-1-2 play for Q9. As usual, Elevate pushed aggressively, led by Kendi, who gave the opening kill for the team. Yopi smoked off barrels and went ahead for a fast plant, and Q9 made the same mistake of rotating without clearing B long. And you already know what happens next. Kalo tails them from behind and picks off Wuling and Curly. Kalo immediately gets traded by Mao Chi, and Dichen gets taken down at the same time, which makes it a 3v1 situation. Mao Chi goes for a rotation at mid, but gets cut off by Susano. These 2 consecutive lurk plays give Elevate their second map win against Q9. Up next is to communicate. communication is key in ranked games. While backseating can be frustrating, offering small bits of information like callouts and letting your teammates know your plans can significantly impact the outcome of the match. By communicating effectively, you can create a more positive and collaborative environment while also improving your team's chances of victory. Take a look at this S&D takeoff clip where Q9 is playing for time, setting up a crossfire while simultaneously waiting for Chuan to go for the defuse during a post-plant situation. Now this is what I call peak teamwork. Watch how Curly makes sure to check the bomb after securing a kill while making noise to get Chuan's attention, especially since he knows his general direction after killing Sun 8 seconds ago. But wait a second, Maochi's at top control room, which is a great spot to hold B side. Chuan knows that Curly's above him, but he doesn't have any idea where Maochi is, so he has no choice but to tap the bomb to force Q9 to peek at him, and obviously it did not end well. Another thing that you can take away from this clip is that there's a really high chance to secure a round if you have the man advantage. You can see Maochi sitting up top, not showing an inch of his skin, letting Curly gather all the information that they need so they can both play crossfire against Chuan, who was on a race against time. As you may have guessed, communication played a huge role in that specific situation because after all, they are teammates who spent hundreds if not thousands of hours training together as a team. Now you might be thinking, but my randoms don't play like that with me. You have to understand that randoms will always be randoms and you are also a random to them. It's all about adapting to the situation and taking matters into your own hands. Next tip is to let the enemies come to you. This tip is dedicated to snipers being crucial in S&D. Be patient, wait for enemies to make a move, and use your positioning to your advantage. Avoid rushing as a sniper. Focus on holding your position and waiting for the perfect shot. A well-placed sniper shot can significantly impact the outcome of the round. Watch godlike Abyss in this play for example. Knowing full well he is a sniper, there's no point for him to rush the winery since it can be troublesome. Instead, he constantly rechecks the inside of winery to see if an enemy is inside hiding, and when he did eventually hear try Vague sliding into another angle of the winery with an R90 in hand, he immediately repositions where Vague can see him clear enough, which forces Vague to rush outside and pace for it. If Abyss decided to stay in his original position, Vague could have possibly got him killed since his original position was too open and unpredictable, but since Abyss decided to reposition to a spot where Vague needs to go outside in order to check where he's at, Abyss can always take the first shot. Even though he missed the first one, it still never let Vague have the opportunity to land his own shot since Abyss is already scoped in, just waiting for him to go out. These are the strategies used by the best players in the world, and mastering these skills will definitely elevate your own gameplay. What about the guns they used in World Champs? Well, you can click this video right here.